Welcome back to Getting Sober, Again, my name is Jay, and today I am, guess how many months sober? 4 months, that's right. You probably already knew that because you saw the thumbnail and you're like, oh, let me see what he has to say. But what have you been up to? Comment below. I haven't made a video in a couple of days. I was on a tear the past couple of weeks. I was making videos. I think I made videos like 6 days in a row. And it's not exactly what you should do. I get it. That's a lot. It can be overwhelming, especially if you're in this process of recovery and you're like, oh my God, I just got behind a little bit. It's like, oh, I put out another video. I can't make enough time. Oh, he put out another video. I'll never catch up. They're all interesting. I'm getting stressed out. So I get it. I feel the same way. I watch a lot of the Joe Rogan podcasts, and I'm still trying to get through like one of them. I've been watching for like a week and a half. It was a particularly long one. I forgot which one it is, but if I remember, I'll put a screenshot up here. But that's not the point of today's episode. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the, what my observations of being 4 months sober. It's not a big detailed list. I didn't write anything down in preparation for this. I'm just going to speak as fluidly as possible and just be as honest as I can. But before I do, I want to thank you. First of all, I am over 400 subscribers now. So again, thank you for that. That's awesome. And I keep seeing the numbers growing very slowly, but every day I seem to be getting a new subscriber. So that is your reminder. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. It is free to you, and it will help this channel to grow, and it'll help YouTube decide whether or not it should show any of these videos to other people. So, and then also too, at any point during this video, please consider liking the video, because the combination of those two things, along with my other favorite thing, which is commenting also really helps YouTube decide whether or not this is a community that we have going on here, and if we are interacting, and if this is, again, worth showing to other people. But let's get to today's topic. Monologue in just about 2 minutes. That's a new record for me. I know I go through really long monologues, but usually there's some relevant information in there, right? So 4 months sober. What are my honest thoughts? I can definitely tell you I am beyond the honeymoon phase. I'll put some information on the screen right now about the pink cloud or honeymoon phase. Pause the video if you like, but we're returning in 3, 2, 1. I have a video on 30 days sober, which is very detailed. I think it was my episode number 31. And that is a very comprehensive, me reading off of a teleprompter list of information about my observations of being 30 days sober. But I also plan on doing one about 90 days sober that's a little bit more in depth, in addition to the 30 days of sobriety. So there's that. But I'm a little over 4 months sober. I think I'm like 4 months and 3 days, but who's counting? And then also too, I wish I would have come up with a number about how much money I've saved on alcohol. I'd be able to quote that off the top of my head, but since I didn't, I'll put it in the video later. It'll be right here. And that is how much money that I've saved by not drinking for 4 months. That's a lot, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. In the app that I use, I talk about it, I know. I repeat myself sometimes, but it's the Quitzilla app. You can download that for Android or for iPhone in a link below. I have both links down below. They're shortcut links, not the full links, because again, YouTube doesn't allow you to, your links can't be too big. I don't know if you knew that. And again, if you're thinking about making a YouTube channel, but there's a little bit of information for you. Your links can't be too big or they'll get chopped off. And then if you try to click on those links, they won't work. So if you ever wonder why a lot of my links down there are like bit.ly links or weird shortened links, it's because of that. So let's talk about 4 months of sobriety and some of my observations. But right now, I'll preface this whole video with telling you what I told my friend, a friend of mine the other day, who is a bartender at my favorite bar that I play pool at. I actually went to go play pool the other day. I was feeling awfully crummy. I don't know if it's just because of the I really haven't been socializing, so that's not great for mental health. I'm just gonna say that. So I've been pretty much just Netflixing and chilling. I've been doing Netflix and chill a lot. Actually, not a lot. I lied. I thought about it a lot. I've been doing a lot of tutorials and stressing. It's like the opposite of Netflix and chill. Tutorials and stress. Been learning like new stuff for like, new clients and
new photography stuff, new videography stuff. But those are things that I mentioned previously about being something to do, replacing your schedule with, well, I was normally at happy hour from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So what am I going to do in that time instead? Instead of drinking from after dinner, just coasting off into bed, was there a better use of my time? So sometimes, like last night, I binge watched with The Man in the High Castle, I think that's what it's called. I binge watched 4 episodes of that, and they're each episode is an hour long. But that was like a treat, for myself. Like I rarely ever sit down and watch TV, even though I have Netflix and Hulu and Prime and all that. I usually watch documentaries. But what I said the other day to my friend, who is a bartender at my favorite bar, I told her, she wasn't at the bar, I was there by myself, and I wanted to play pool. I didn't drink, so don't worry. But I texted her and I said, between you and me, I really miss drinking. And I know that's maybe not what you want to hear, but this page is about transparency. And I know that I feel this way. So because I am also a human being just like you, that you probably also relate to some of this content, and you also probably have had similar feelings and some similar thoughts. And maybe, you've also given in to those feelings and those thoughts, just like all of us have, over and over and over again for years and years and years and years. So, but 4 months sober, let's get into it. The first 30 days, I was really motivated. I was really, really, really motivated to get sober and be sober, because I think my expectations were a little bit higher than what reality was. And in no way, shape, or form, please prove me wrong to any of the information I say, whether the information is good, if it's positive, or if it's negative, or if it's better or worse or whatever. Any way that you feel that it's contradictory or in agreement to anything that I say, please comment below and build the opinion base. It's like I am not a medical professional, obviously. I'm not even a nutritionist, and I'm just a person who used to drink a lot, who has a YouTube channel, a really nice YouTube channel. But so the first 30 days I was really gung-ho, and I was really super motivated. And I thought I'll get to bed earlier, and I'll wake up earlier, and my days will be really productive, and nothing's gonna slow me down, nothing's gonna get in my way. And I am gonna say no to alcohol, and it's not gonna be a problem, And then so the first week, in my opinion, sucks. It is the hardest. The first 3 days are the worst, I think, in my opinion. The first 3 days are the worst, and then the first week is the next milestone. And then after that, it's you're still kind of well, can I get to 10 days? And then it's 2 weeks. And then after that, if you can get to really after that is, in my opinion, is after 2 weeks is when you really start to see and feel the symptoms of the addiction to alcohol kind of alleviate themselves. And then I stopped thinking about alcohol a lot more around that time. And especially at 3 weeks was basically, there's the 21-90 rule. After 21 days it becomes a habit, and then after 90 days, you're basically good to go. And again, results may vary. I'm not a medical professional. And even if you were a medical professional, I watch a lot of medical professionals. I listen to a lot of medical professionals. And sometimes, and I know, sometimes that information doesn't apply. And that's what makes all this really hard. So you might think to yourself, well, will quitting drinking fix my problems? Or do I need to get therapy? Or do I need to do both? Or do I need to go on antidepressants or, something else? Who knows? I feel like I did some damage to myself. So, pardon me. Maybe I need to medicate somehow. I was self-medicating. Maybe now I need some professional medicating. And that may be, maybe there's underlying problems that you had in the first place. I know, I always had pretty bad anxiety, as a kid growing up, and when I think about it fairly, it's I got made fun of a lot. It's I was almost always the only Asian kid. So because I was almost always the Asian kid, the only Asian kid, I was an easy target. There was always more of every other except for Inuit, Eskimos, and then native peoples. There was always more of everybody else than me. So I had to develop a quick wit and charm about me, get me through some situations without having to fight. But then sometimes I would fight too. But that also that made my life, a little anxious. And that kind of like went on into my teenage years and into, you know, my early adult years, and it still kind of follows me sometimes. Sometimes I still get anxiety, and I'm just like, I don't want to go there. There's gonna be a lot of people there. I don't want people staring at me or, you know, poking fun at me or whatever, or saying something stupid or whatever, making a comment about even just whatever, like my hair or whatever, you know. And it's usually not the case, like really anymore. But like still, like sometimes those thoughts like rattle around my head, and then like the remedy was always kind of like, you know, what'll make those cares disappear? Alcohol. And then it's like have a little glass of F it, and then you're just like, I don't care, who cares if they say something? Actually, you know, I kind of wish they would say something, you know. You have a couple of drinks, you ever feel like that comment below? It's like, I wish somebody would say something after a couple of drinks. But so, you know, during the first 30 days, I was like super motivated, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, I'm gonna have a bunch of energy. And again, I feel like my expectations were just a little too high. And it definitely got me through the first 30 days. And really the first 2 months, I was coasting through. And then when then the thoughts started coming in of, is this all that's gonna happen? Like, am I gonna feel any better than this? Those thoughts started coming in before I got to the 3-month mark. So after 2 months, I was riding pretty high. I was feeling pretty good. I felt like I had more energy. I felt like my moods were a little above average. I felt like that. Where before with the drinking, if this is like the baseline, you know, right here, if my chin is baseline, I kind of felt like some days I was down here, and then I'd, you know, drink and I'd have a spike, and then I'd be back down here again. And always just trying to get back to baseline. And I remember explaining that to my therapist years ago. It's like, from what I perceive of the world, which is a lot of it is nonsense, and it's lies, and it's social media, and it's people's like best face and their vacation mode, and like the best lasagna they've ever made, and you're like, I don't even know how to make lasagna. And then you're just like, I feel like everybody's at least here, and I feel like on a day-to-day existence, I'm here. And I just want to, is it too much to ask to get like here? But at least, can I just get here? Can I just be back to baseline? And that's, you know, where I kind of wanted to be. And that's how I felt like I was for the first 2 months. I felt like I was at like just a real, just like a normal, acceptable plane of existence. And then it was like, then some days, like after the first 2 months, I remember feeling like not as motivated to wake up early. Like I wasn't, in the first 2 months, let me explain. In the first 2 months, I was waking up early and just being like, all right, I'm awake. Let's seize the day. And then I'd seize the day. I seize the shit out of the day. And then, and I would just go until I was like, what else can I learn? Let me read the tutorial, like 30 tabs. I had like 30 tabs in my Chrome browser open. It's like all different tutorials. And I go to the gym and I listen to podcasts and I write some more podcasts. And I was like, nothing's gonna stop me. And it was like a montage. And the first 2 months was just like a montage of like productivity and like making videos. And it was like me. So it was fun. It was a good time. And then, but like I said, the honeymoon phase kind of like started to wear off after the first couple of months. And that's kind of where I'm at now. And so between 2 months and 4 months where I'm at now is kind of just like, like I didn't like, it didn't, my expectations I feel like weren't met in some ways. Now positives are physically I do feel better. Right? There are definitely physical ailments there. I do have more lasting energy. I definitely don't need to take naps. So like some stuff I just kind of forgot of symptoms like negative things versus the positive effects. But one of them definitely is like, I rarely ever feel like I have to take a nap in the middle of the day. The first month I felt like I had to take naps a lot just to get through the days. And then, there's sometimes like I thought like not drinking anymore would just like totally wipe out depression. I was wrong. And, and that's just for me, but it's like, depression is also just kind of, it's conditional, it's environmental, it's, whatever else is going on around you. And I try to talk about like looking at things objectively, right? And like looking at like, what is the evidence of like why, like how you feel and why you feel the way that you do. right? So, you know, well, I was talking to my mom yesterday, and it was just, you know, when you add everything up, it's like, it's still winter. I personally don't like the cold. Doesn't make me feel good. I don't like cloudy days. I live in a place where 200 out of 365 days a year, it's cloudy. I had a pretty big breakup within the last year and a half. I lost my dad in the last year and a half. I lost my great aunt a year ago. I just lost my aunt and uncle within the last month. So there have been very real reasons. Like, we just sold my great aunt's house, which was like the family house. Like, they built 3 houses on the block there. They built those 3 houses, and that was the last house of ours, of the family house that's, you know, where everybody had good memories of Christmas and stuff. So we did that the other day, and that was like, that kind of put me into a funk. So it's like, I thought that like alcohol would make me like a little bit more impervious to having negative feelings. I thought it would help me like kind of coasting here, and like having just like, I thought I would just kind of like live in this area and not like sometimes just be down here again and have to like slowly climb up. And that's also like, that is a realistic thing that happened for me. It may not happen to you. You may not have had all those losses within 1.5 year span. You might not have had that. So maybe you're just like, well, I don't know. I got my dream job in the last year and a half, and I met the love of my life in the last year and a half, and also after I got my dream job, I got a raise. I got 2 raises. You know, so your life might be different. Also, you know, maybe you lost everything. You know, there have been big winter storms that had come through. So I guess my whole point is like, alcohol is not the best. It's not the end all be all for you know, emotional imbalances, but it definitely does help. I will say that for sure. I'm far less anxious also, having been sober for all this time. I do feel like I have more energy at the gym. I'm definitely a lot less sore. I'm very rarely am I sore. And because I'm not dehydrated all the time, I'm also like not just pounding water all the time at night when I go to bed, or like when I'm waking up in the morning. So I'm making better decisions overall, and I do feel better overall. I just really wish that I didn't have to still feel negative feelings sometimes. I thought that like, I wished that after stopping drinking that I would wake up and every morning, regardless of what was going on outside, if it was cloudy or not, I wanted every morning to be sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies. And that's an error on my part. Wishful thinking, but you know, sometimes we believe something and you want it to happen and you believe it, and sometimes it comes true for you. And I'm sure that there are definitely instances in your life where you're just like, you know, I had expectations and I just shot for it and I went for it not knowing, you know, if it actually was possible, or, you know, what the consequences would be of falling short. And sometimes people just ride off into the sunset, and they wind up with the career they're looking for, or the partner they're looking for, or living in the location that they're looking for, or doing something else big and great, making a YouTube channel that's helping people. So we have to look at the pros and we have to look at the cons. And I can definitely say after 4 months of not drinking, I am definitely proud of myself. So you should definitely be proud of yourself and your journey, wherever it is and whatever it is. It takes a lot of effort and momentum to say no, and then to do it again, and then to do it again, and then to do it again, until it becomes a habit, a healthy habit, right? And so I wish you luck on your journey. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. And then again, too, like I said, if there's anything that you don't want to mention in the comments below, you want to remain a little bit more anonymous, you can always email me at gettingsoberagain@gmail.com. And that is going to wrap it up for today. So good luck on your journey, and I will see you in the next video.